So tonight we are actually going to start in a seated position. If you do have a block or a pillow or even like a blanket, or you want to roll up like the back of your mat, just to give yourself a little bit of a pelvic tilt. And then however you want to configure your legs, you can certainly do that. Just coming to a comfy seat, and you can either place your hands on your thighs or in your lap or your belly if you want, whatever feels good to you. And then just close your eyes and just start to ground in as we begin our practice tonight. And you might need to wiggle a little bit if you are on a prop, just to ground your sit bones. But try to lower your shoulders away from your ears. Allow your shoulders to roll down your back. Just do a quick body scan while we're getting started. You might have some areas of tension that you already can feel. I made the mistake of using my half day today instead of resting like I should have. Just did everything and anything. I was moving around like a crazy person, and now my low back is definitely paying for it. So as I'm doing my body scan, I'm noticing my low back is very tense. I'm also carrying some upper body tension. So just start to really pay attention to your body and how you're feeling. And if you're just joining us, we're just starting in an easy seat. Eyes are closed. You can sit on a prop if you have one. So if you've got a pillow or a block. And we're just doing a body scan now just to see how we're feeling. So often when we rush around all day, we aren't really slowing down enough to pay attention to that. So you might have different sensations in your body than normal, or you just might be more tight. So just use your breath here. Start to settle into your practice. And in our restorative practice, anything that I call out tonight that doesn't feel good to you, you want to do something else, you're craving more movement or maybe more stillness, listen to your body and what you need. I am just here to guide you through, and this is your time for yourself. And so often we don't make the time. We make excuses, or it's just easier to do other things or veg out or whatever. But you've decided to log into yoga tonight. So just use this next 60 minutes to pay more attention to your body, to pay more attention to your breath, to really start to slow down all those racing thoughts of things that happened today or are supposed to happen tomorrow or later this weekend or whatever, or maybe things that happened yesterday. Just see if you can just place them aside for this yoga class and just use this time to really focus on you. Take a deep breath in. Big open mouth, sigh out, let something go. On your next inhale, take your right arm up, reach up towards the sky. So lengthening your fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then just start to bend your fingertips so that they come down to right behind your neck or your upper back. And then just take your left palm to your right elbow and just shift your elbow just more towards the center of your back. And you should be feeling a really good stretch in your tricep area on your right side. And if you want to, you can reach your left arm around to try to grab onto your right fingertips behind your back. So this might be impossible for you if you've got really tight shoulders. You can always grab onto your shirt. You can just come back to grabbing onto your elbow. If you can clasp your fingers, just try to relax a little bit. So just breathing in here, allowing your upper body to start to open. If you sit all day at work or you have poor posture, I'm guilty of being hunched over. This just really helps to open up your entire upper body. And it also is a really good arm stretch. So we're just getting into our shoulders, we're getting into different parts of our arm, our back area. You might feel it in your neck too. Just seeing if you can just open up your chest a little bit more. So puffing your chest out, taking your gaze just slightly up to the ceiling, eyes still closed. Should be feeling a stretch in your belly here. You've arched your back a little bit for a nice little back bend. Couple more breaths here. On your next exhale, just release. And then just bring your right arm across your body and then just hook your left arm on it so that you can pull it over towards the left side of your mat. Just stretching out differently here. Using your breath to get you through. And then we're gonna switch that out, but just take some really big arm circles in one direction. Loosening up, allowing blood flow to happen. Both arms. And then take it in the opposite direction. And then when you are ready, we'll just swap that out. So you'll take your left arm up, reach up to the sky as much as you can, just lifting out of your seat. And then just start to bring your fingertips down to your upper back, right behind your neck. Grab onto your left elbow and just nudge it more towards the center of your back. And this might be enough for you. You might feel a really big stretch here. You might be really tight right now because we're just getting started. Just listen to your body. If you want more, you can swim your right arm around. Try to grab onto your left fingertips behind your back. And then if you have been able to clasp them, just puff up your chest, take your gaze up, arch your back, close your eyes, really get into this stretch. Using your breath here, not thinking about how this side's different. So maybe you could reach your fingertips on the other side, or maybe it wasn't as tight, or maybe this is your better side. Just breathe in wherever you're at. Maybe you're like, there's no way in heck I'm ever gonna reach my fingers. But the more that you open up and stretch this out, the more space you'll create in your body to be able to do that. And then on your next exhale, just release your left arm up, and then you'll just bring it around to the front of your body and taking a stretch this way. So reaching towards the right side of the room, using your right arm kind of as an anchor to get that stretch here. So you should be feeling it on your left side. Using your breath here. Closing your eyes, just feeling the stretch. When you're ready, we'll just release that. Then again, just take some arm circles, generous ones in one direction, just to loosen that up. And then we'll go the opposite way. So release that out. Before we come out of this, we'll just take an easy twist. So take your left palm to your right knee, and then just start to crawl your fingertips towards the back of your mat. Take your gaze over your right shoulder. Really gentle twist here, using your breath. Close your eyes. Feel the stretch that's happening in your body. When you're ready, release that, come through center, and then we'll just switch that out to the other side. So bringing your right fingertips to your left knee, taking your gaze over your left shoulder. Again, just use your breath here, and on every exhale, just imagine that you're twisting a little bit more open. Seeing if you can release some tension here. You've tweaked your low back like me, or just have a tight low back. Might feel good just to get a different type of a twist as we open up our class here. But again, listening to your body, backing off if it's too much, paying attention to what your body is telling you. On your exhale, come back to center. And then if you've decided to sit on the prop, just take that out of the way. Extend your legs out in front of you. And you will want some props. We are going to get into a seated forward fold. So whatever props you usually use, I tend to have a couple pillows to help prop me up here. So stack them up, send your legs out in front of you. And when you're ready, ground your sit bones into your mat. Inhale, take your arms up, your gaze up. Exhale, start to reach toward the front of your mat. And when you can't reach anymore and your spine's really rounded, just allow yourself to fall over your props. So that's why props in your seated forward fold are so essential, because if you just hang out here, you're going to create some tension in your upper body. And we just did some moves to release some of that tension. So instead of creating more tension in your body, just seeing if you can allow your neck to hang heavy, your head to hang heavy. Your head weighs so much to support that amazing big brain of yours. But carrying that weight is a lot for your neck and your shoulders and your upper back. Something that you don't really have to think about, but just allow your head to really hang heavy to give your neck a break, to start to create some space in your upper body. Really feeling as if on every exhale, you can just melt your chest more towards your thighs. Closing your eyes if you haven't already. Just allowing yourself to really rest here. Forward folds are really good for calming your central nervous system, quieting your mind, helping you become more grounded, less anxious. And then the physical benefits of the forward fold, you are stretching your hamstrings, which help open up low back, getting a nice stretch in your upper body and your neck area as well. Just allow yourself to really relax here. We're about halfway through, and sometimes after holding this for a couple minutes, you might be able to actually release one of your props or change the height of your props. And if you typically don't adjust yourself halfway through or haven't given it a shot, you might just want to experiment and see if you can allow yourself to come down a little bit closer to the ground. Allow your low back to really open. If you've been really tight and you're like, nope, this is plenty, stay where you're at. Try not to fidget. Try to allow yourself to just ease into this. And if you're just joining us, we are in our seated forward fold. We're about halfway through, so you've got some time to still enjoy this if you've got props nearby. You can just let your head hang heavy, close your eyes, just really settle in. Whatever happened earlier today, maybe even just minutes ago, just see if you can let them go. You're on your mat, practicing yoga, getting some good movement for your body, but also some really good stillness as well. Something that so often we don't do enough of, at least not in the right ways, besides our sleep. Just take this time for you. And our restorative practice is so important for so many reasons, and some of them being, mental and allowing your mind to calm, your body to finally calm. But the longer that we hold poses, the more that our connective tissue in our body can start to really relax and lengthen. We're creating space in our body, releasing tension, bringing awareness back to our body. So allowing ourselves to actually rest for once. Take a deep breath in. Big open mouth sigh out. Let something go. And your next inhale, start to slowly come out of this. And again, we held this for a little bit of time, so just be really gentle with yourself. If you have props on your lap or props nearby, we are going to take deer pose next. So place them on your right side, whoever side that would be for you. And then before we get into that, we'll just bend our knees, bring your fingertips behind your low back, and then just rock your knees from side to side. So with your props on your right side of your mat, you'll take your right shin, so it's parallel with the longer side of your mat here. And then you'll tuck your left leg behind you so that your left heel is in towards your left glute. Your left knee is next to your right foot. So familiar with cheerleader sit, we're in that position here. And then when you're ready, you'll start to twist over towards the right side. So for some of you, this might be enough of a twist for your low back or just your situation. You might want to hang out here. If you want to get into the full expression, you'll just start to crawl yourself down onto your props, and you can, build them up to a tall tower, so you don't really have to get all the way down. You can use your forearms. You can fully get down. If you want to place your pillows really low to the ground, you can just rest onto them and really get into this twist. If you want the full deer experience, you'll take your head and face it toward your right side. So we're facing the right side already, but if your head is now towards the top of your mat or one shorter side of your mat, now you'll twist towards the right side of the room from where you're facing now, so that your head is in the opposite direction of your knees, just to really get that full twist of your entire spine. Deer is a really good deep twist, but it's different, gets different parts of your body than our traditional supine twist. So again, just come into a position that feels good for you. If it feels like too much, you can come off of it. You can always come out, just feeling where you're at tonight. Don't try to push yourself too much. And whenever you get into a cozy shape or cozy enough, just close your eyes, come back to your breath, start to pay attention to your breathing. We take advantage of the fact that our body does it for us. We don't have to think about breathing or tell ourselves to breathe. And it just happens. And so often we take that for granted. So just paying attention to your breath here really allows you to ground into your body. It also helps you start to slow down your breathing and ensure that your breath is actually happening in your belly and not in your chest. So don't try not to shallow breathe, just try to really lengthen your inhales and your exhales here, just to really relax into this pose. Breathing space. Your mind has started to wander onto other stuff. Just try to gently bring it back to your mat, paying attention to how you're feeling in this twist. You spend your time all day thinking about other things, but you can just spend some time actually being present. You get to enjoy what you're currently experiencing. So you're allowing your body to really fully release and lengthen and twist out and get rid of things that you no longer need to make space for just good energy, good stuff. So just bringing your awareness back to your breath, your body, just allows us to enjoy that even more. And on your next exhale, just start to slowly make your way out of this. So take your time, really cozy here, just allowing yourself to make your way out. And then as you come to a seated position, before we switch everything out to the other side, just take a little twist over toward the left side, taking your gaze slightly behind you, over your left shoulder. And then we'll just swap that out. You can leave your props where they're at and just face the other side of your mat. I am going to flip them all to the other side just so that I can still face all of you. So whatever is the least painful thing for you to do, just make sure that your props are on your left side. And then we'll just swap that out. So your left Shin will come parallel with the long side of your mat. Tucking your right heel in towards your right glute. And then when you're ready, on your time, you'll just start to make your way towards the left side. And again, this might be enough of a twist for you. You might be like, yep, I'm hanging out here. This feels great. I'm gonna stay here for a couple minutes or maybe the whole time. If you're craving more, just come all the way down or come halfway down or whatever you're feeling tonight. So finding what feels good on this side, and each side's gonna be different. Your body is gonna want something different each week. So even if you have done deer recently and this is a totally different experience for you, that's okay. Don't try to force yourself into a shape or position that doesn't feel good to you. So again, just listening to your body, you might need a very gentle twist. And you can close your eyes once you're cozy. Again, this is a really good one for a low back. Twisting out in a different way. I promise I wrote the sequence before I actually did tweak my low back. But I must have just known that that was going to happen to me today, and I needed more low back openers. So if that is also you, it just was our lucky day today. But yeah, typically I have been laying low. I've been in my pregnancy, just trying to take it easy when I'm not chasing around my toddler. But today I was like, ooh, I have a half day and I can get, so much done around the house, and completely overdid it. Which halfway through my craziness, I knew that I was overdoing it and I knew that I should rest, but I didn't listen to that because, we all get so much darn satisfaction out of being productive. And I also tend to distract myself when things are stressful or whatever with doing things or cleaning or organizing or making space for something. And so I felt like that was best because then I didn't have to think about stuff. I didn't have to worry about things if I was busy physically doing stuff. But now I am definitely thinking that. And again, it's just, it's so funny. You know yourself so well. And when you're doing stuff that doesn't align with what is best for you, but sometimes you just do it anyways. Thinking you're invincible or it's not going to catch up to you. And eventually it does. So listen to your body. It's trying to tell you stuff. I tell you guys this every single week. But I don't practice what I preach, so it's back to bite me. So again, finding a shape that feels good to your body, not pushing past your limit. And that goes for during your day too. So not racing through your day, not rushing, not trying to do too many things, not listening to yourself when it's like screaming at you to rest. You're not stronger because you push past that and keep going. You're actually stronger when you slow down and rest. The harder thing to do, because so often you have to deal with your emotions and your thoughts and all the other crap that we store in our bodies. So remember that next time you try to busy yourself and feel like maybe focus. So this is the thing that you more, but it may be the harder thing to do. Take one more deep breath in here. Big, open mouth, sigh out, let something go. Really slowly on your next inhale, switch to out on this side. Taking your time, back to center, but keeping your legs where they're at, because we're just going to take that little twist towards the right side, taking your gaze behind you, over your right shoulder, allowing yourself to open here. And then coming back to center, and we'll just come out of that. So you can just sway your knees from side to side, loosen up your low back. And then we are going to come down to a child's pose. So you'll want to move your props out of the way so that you can do that. And coming to your tabletop position. Toe tips to touch, knees about max width distance, sinking your hips down. And then crawling yourself out to a comfortable shape for your child's pose, bringing your forehead down to something. So if it's a block, a book, a pillow, the mat itself, whatever you can find your forehead on, bring it to something, your forearms. Just really allowing yourself to melt into this child's pose. Feeling the stretch in your upper body. Feel it in your low back and your hips, your lats, your upper body. And then just see if you can lower your shoulders away from your ears, allowing your shoulders to roll on your back. And really sink your hips toward your heels. And on every exhale, just imagine that you're melting more into the mat. So just really allowing yourself to feel like you're being held by the floor almost. And just allow yourself to rest here. Deep breath in. Full open mouth, sigh out, let something go. And your next inhale, just start to slowly come out of this. And come to a tabletop and then just sway your hips from side to side just to loosen up low back. Out of this fully. And we are going to take supine pigeon, but if you want to take traditional pigeon, you're more than welcome to. I'm just doing the gentle version on the back, and you're more than welcome to join me there. But if you want a full pigeon, you totally can take that too. So if you're going to try supine pigeon, you can come flat to your back. If you need some props like me, if you're not flat on your back, you can prop yourself up a little bit. And we're gonna take pigeon on our right. So if you're taking traditional pigeon, you'll just on your right side first. Supine pigeon, folks. Bend your left knee with your foot firmly planted on the ground, and then cross your right ankle over your left knee. And this might be good. You might be like, yep, this is where I'm gonna hang out tonight. If you want more of a stretch, you can always start to bring your left knee in toward your chest. And then you can use your right palm to push your right knee away from you. You can grab on with both hands behind your left thigh, and you can always use your right elbow to nudge your right knee away. Just finding a shape that feels good for you. And again, like normal pigeon might be craving that. You can always take frog. Any kind of hip opener is really good here. And if you do have a lot of low back issues, sometimes supine is just really nice, gentle variation. You also don't have to worry about putting too much tension on your upper body to hold you up in traditional pigeon when you do it on your back. And you can kind of get into your hips, low back area, just a little bit different when you try supine. So always an option. And even when we do traditional pigeon, you can always take it in supine on your back. So just listen to your body, what it needs, what you need in your practice. Allowing yourself to release here, feeling your tension that you're carrying around in your hip area just slowly start to melt away. All that stuff that you've stored from earlier today or this week, just allow that to go away. This is your opportunity to finally let that go. You don't need to carry it around with you anymore. Coming back to your breath. Are you breathing? Are you paying attention to your breath here? Or are you just letting your mind spin, thinking about everything else but being here? There's nothing you can do about anything except for what you're doing right now on your mat. So worrying about what is yet to come or obsessing over what happened already just isn't productive. And instead, you're missing what's happening right now. So just coming back to your breath, allowing whatever feelings or thoughts to come up to actually come up, and then allowing them to actually be released. Just letting them go. They no longer are serving you anymore. You don't need to worry about them. Take a deep breath in here. Big open mouth, sigh out, let something go. When you're ready, we are going to make our way out of this. So if you're in supine, you can just release your right foot down to the floor and then just loosen up your low back. If you took traditional pigeon, you can come back to tabletop. You can sway your hips from side to side. You might want to extend your right leg back behind you. Take some knee circles, whatever feels good. Taking your time to really come out of that and loosen up your low back. And then when you're ready, we're just gonna switch that out to the left-hand side. So if you're in supine, you'll just plant your right foot on the ground, draping your left ankle over your right knee, taking any kind of variation with grabbing onto your left thigh or nudging your left knee away, perhaps. Just anything that's going to feel good in your body, and each side is so different. And if you're taking traditional pigeon, you know where to go, but just recognizing that this side is going to feel different in your body as well. So you might need some props, you might need to make some adjustments, you might need to let go of your ego and your expectations of what this is supposed to look like, and instead just allow yourself to really release into your pigeon, knowing that you're doing so much good for your body by hanging out in this hip opener. So again, your class, your choice to do whatever feels good to you, and that's going to look different week to week. So just honoring that, paying attention to what that means for you tonight. Closing your eyes if you haven't done so already. Really tuning into your breath. Use this time to do that. Seeing if you can slow your breath down. Allowing yourself to really melt into this pose. Getting into your left side. Take a deep breath in. Full open mouth, sigh out. Let something go. Your next inhale, just slowly start to come out of this. So again, if you took traditional pigeon, you'll just slowly make your way out, come back to that tabletop, but then taking any leg variation that feels good. If you're on your back, you can just sway your knees from side to side, just loosen the back. And doing what feels good to you here to loosen that up. Maybe if you did take traditional pigeon, you can always extend your left leg long behind you, tucking your toes, really get a good full stretch on the back side of your leg. And if you did take traditional pigeon, we are now going to make our way down to our back. So come down to your spine if you're not already there. And then we are going to take reclined butterfly or Supta Baddha Konasana. So once you make your way to your back, or again, if you're already there, start to bring your toes or your feet to touch, knees out wide. And because this is such an extreme low back opener, you might need some props here to help with the opening situation. So you can always take a block or book or a couple pillows underneath your knees just to help this become more of a gentle opener. You can bring your hands down to the mat with your palms facing down to get some more grounding, or you can place them on your belly just to really pay attention to your breath. So it's really up to you what you are craving and what would feel good to you, but listening to your body here, allowing yourself to ease into this opening of your low back. And my back has been bothering me throughout this entire practice, and getting into this was a little much. So again, just listening to yourself, and it might be you as well, and you might be like, yep, I need more props than normal, or I'm not going to be as open as normal, and that's totally fine. So finding your shape, what feels good to you, getting into this posture, and then really using your breath here, using this opportunity to spend the next several minutes just paying attention to your breathing, seeing if you can slow it down, seeing if you can lengthen your inhales and your exhales, just to really allow yourself to start to get into that resting mode. Yeah, knowing that you're really doing so much good for your low back area, your hips, the front side of your body. If this is too much, you got to listen to yourself and your body here. Know what feels good in your body, and you all know your body's best. Honor that. Don't let what you think you should do get in the way of what you need the most. Great reminder to myself. Take a deep breath in. Big open mouth, sigh out. Let something go. When you are ready on your time, start to slowly close your knees back together like a book. And then bring your knees in toward your chest. You might want to grab onto your knees and just sway from side to side. You might be craving happy baby pose. You can grab onto your shins or the outer edges of your feet just to get more into that stretch there, and whatever feels good to you. And then when you're ready on your time, finding your way to your final resting shape, your Shavasana. So stretching out into traditional Shavasana shape, or if you want to do legs up the wall, you can stretch out in that way. Just coming to a posture that feels good for you and your body, and doing a quick body scan before you rest here. So whatever shape that you're in, just seeing if you can relax the muscles in your face, any areas of tension that you're still holding on to. Perhaps you just relax your jaw a little bit. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Can you lower your shoulders away from your ears just an inch or two? And paying attention to your arms, your fingers, your hands, softening a bit there. Traveling down, feeling the breath rise and fall on your belly, your low back. Then just really allowing your toes to fall heavily to either side. Just to really release your low back and your legs there. And enjoy the next several minutes of rest. Shavasana is here for you as long as you need tonight. You're in your own space, and if you can continue to rest, take a few extra minutes than normal to just lie still, really ground yourself. But if you need to move on with your evening, just so that hopefully you can get yourself to bed, anything else that you think you need to still do, just see if you can just leave it aside and just take care of you tonight. You're slowly coming out of your Shavasana. You can just bring some awareness to your fingers and your toes. And then making your way to either side for a brief stop in fetal pose, just closing your eyes once you get there. And then coming to a comfortable seated position on your time when you're ready. Bring your hands to heart center. Close your eyes if they're not already closed. Take a deep breath in. Big open mouth, sigh out. Let something go. Breathe in something awesome, something amazing that you still need. Breathe out something that you don't. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you and hope you have an amazing rest of your week. Namaste.